All the dogs are making cameos today. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get this party started. I'm so excited about Ike. Come here, my love. Did you see the eclipse today? Yeah?
Yes,
How,
I did.
what was it like for you?
Oh,
Did you have,
sorry.
did you like it? Wow. Hi, Grandma Mary.
Hi.
Oh, so good to see you.
She literally just arrived like a minute ago.
Wow. Awesome. You guys have fun, okay? We're going to do some meditation with
Okay.
Eclipse. Ariana. Where's Ariana? I see Ariana's here too. Hi. Hi, cutie.
Say hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Thank you for making an appearance tonight.
Hi.
Look at all this amazing energy we have. Hi, baby.
Hi.
Oh, he's at my school, I think.
Yeah,
He is at my school, I think.
of course. Of course. All the cool kids come to Uncle Daniel's meditations. Come on.
Hi. I'm on it too, Mia.
And Aunt Mia is here. And Auntie Irina is here. I mean, how's it get any better? Are you ready to play? Do you want to meditate with us today? Okay, let's get started. I have so many exciting things I want to share with you. And I wanted to actually, first of all, I wanted to share something that really, oh God, my heart just like melted today. Did you guys, any of you happen to catch the news or watch the eclipse online or any of that kind of stuff? Did you notice the energy of the people that were collectively watching the eclipse together? There were people that were so emotional. They were crying. Some people were holding each other. They put their arms around each other. Some people said, I don't even know how to explain why I'm so emotional. I'm just so emotional. I feel so connected. And I watched all of this unfold and I thought, wow, how amazing and miraculous is the universe. That there is that energy that actually invites everyone to just stop, to stop what they're doing. I think that every single one of us today probably took a second and stopped what we were doing to tap into the energy of the eclipse. And what I loved so much was the sense of unity that it brought. A sense of unity, a sense of awe, a sense of excitement. The other thing I became aware of is, you know what? Things are changing. Things are really, really, really changing. Many of us have been really resisting that change. Many of us, many people in the world,
I love you. Sweet dreams. I don't know. No.
many of us have actually allowed ourselves to look at everything that's happening in the world and go, oh, what's happening in the world? The world is such a horrible place. The world is falling apart. What is going on? People are killing each other for what reason? And we feed that energy. And when we feed that energy and feed that energy, we oftentimes fall into this spiral that is so hard to get out. But for those 4 minutes and 28 seconds today, 4 minutes and 28 seconds today, everything changed. For 4 minutes and 28 seconds, there was complete unity. And I realized this is what it means to live in the age of Aquarius. Right now, more than ever, we're going to see more events and more situations like this presenting themselves and making these opportunities known for this complete sense of unity and of magic and of connection between all of us. And so that's one of the first awarenesses that I wanted to share about today. And what if that was something that we could get used to? What if we could get used to that sense of unity? What if we could get used to people coming together, to sharing a moment with each other, to collectively be able to say, I remember when I was there for that eclipse that happened on April 8th, 2024, right? And that moment, that we all get to kind of look at the world and go, wow, we really, in the grand scope of things, who are we? Who are we? And what is really so separate and so different about each and every one of us that we're creating all of these conflicts and all of this energy in the world of separation? So the first awareness that I want to bring to all of us this today and this evening is we are witnessing a huge shift in consciousness. We're witnessing a huge shift of energy taking place in the world. And we want to inject the energy today and really for the next few days at least into reveling in just asking the question, what would the world be like if there actually was peace? What would it be like? What would it feel like? What would it smell like? How could I sense it? Because once you start to kind of cultivate that possibility, then that possibility becomes an actual energy. When that energy becomes an actual energy, it becomes consciousness, and consciousness, as you know, creates and manifests as the world that we live in. So I'd like to think that those of us who are here listening, partaking, and being a part of this evening, this evening, those who are listening, past, present, and future, that you too are a part of this, that you too are a part of this collective, that together tonight we're going to awaken the consciousness to imagine what it would be like to live in a world where true unity and true allowance was the main vibration. Okay. Oh, so I'm going to speak in three different parts about the energy this evening. And one, I'm going to just talk about the energy of the eclipse, what that kind of is energetically. And then I'm going to talk about the new moon in the sign of Aries. And also we have the new moon in the sign of Aries. We also have Mercury in retrograde in the sign of Aries. And it is conjunct Chiron, which is also in the sign of Aries, which is the dwarf planet that is also known as the wounded healer. A lot of lip service for you, but I'm going to explain it all. Then we're going to do a little bit of an activation at the end and an amazing meditation to really let go and release and allow these energies to go out there. I did an event this morning at 7 o'clock this morning for our community in China, and we had like 80 people on the session. So it was so inspiring to feel the energy of the desire, the ask, right? What can I be to contribute to the change that is required in this world? What can I be that allows me to witness and see the change happening in the world? Right? So everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, can we just destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
And would you like to know that now is the time and now is the space, and that you in your infinite glory and in your infinite capacity are a part of that change, and that we collectively, we have the ability to institute that now. So if you'd like that, just say yes as well. Great. So now let's look at something. Let's talk about an eclipse. So a total solar eclipse, okay? A total solar eclipse, as you may have witnessed today, is when the sun, the moon, and the earth are in complete alignment, right? Now, what's interesting is that I want you to imagine that this is the sun, right? The sun represents you, who you really are, right? In astrology, the sun, your sun sign is the sign that is the most authentic to who you be, right? So for example, I'm a Virgo. So I am a Virgo. I am Daniel. This is how I am defined. This is how I show up. My ego, all of that is my sun. This is who you are. This is who you really, really are. And the moon represents our emotions, right? Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, all of that stuff that really doesn't belong to our infinite being, who we really, really are, but it's over here. Now, it has a huge effect on us, the moon, right? We feel the energy of the moon all the time with its waxing and waning, with its different planets. Every single day, the moon moves into a different, I think it's every 48 hours, the moon moves into a new placement. So we're constantly going through these energies that the moon is contributing to us here, because we as individuals are also an exhausting amount of water, right? We are like 78, 88% water or something like that. So you see how the moon affects the waters of the world and how the tides come and go. So that's how the moon also affects us. And because it's connected to our emotions, it gets us the best with our emotional and our reactive system. So here you have the moon and here you have the sun. This is who you really are. The sun representing your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, it comes in. And in this moment, eclipses the sun, right? And so in this space, who you really, really are is completely shadowed and overshadowed and overpowered by your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, right? Now, what happens when that energy of the moon moves? When that energy of the moon moves, then you reveal your true self. So, what we are going through and what we are going to actually experience right now, we did experience it today, and we're going to start to step more into it, is the activation of your true self. What's so interesting is that the alignment and the placement of all of these other energies, especially because we have so much Aries in the chart right now, is that you have in the past probably made other people the source of your power. You've given other people the source of your, let's say, validation, your codependence. We become codependent on those other energies that are outside of us. Now, what this energy is doing is it is not only inviting us, it is demanding us to choose something else. It is demanding us to look at ourselves, to look at who we are and how we show up in the world and say, this is what is required to change the world. Now, more than ever, that sense of autonomy, that sense of individuality, that sense of empowerment that a fire sign gives you to have confidence, that is what we are all receiving today. Now, I'd like for each of us to kind of think about what it is in your life maybe that you've been hiding. What have you been hiding with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions? What have you been hiding that hasn't allowed you to truly be vulnerably you? And what is that gift, that little magic sauce that if you actually did reveal it, might actually change the world? Here's a clue. It's usually the thing that you may be the most embarrassed of. It's the thing that the last thing you share with people. It is the thing that you kind of feel like you have to guard with all of your energy. That thing, as Gary Douglas says, that which you have made a wrongness of you is actually a strongness of you. And now is the opportunity with these energies to reveal that place in your life that you're making yourself wrong so that you can actually transform that into a strength that you can share with the world. And so what is that? What is that that you would like to, you're finally ready to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and say, look, this is me. This is who I am. I have to say what has been coming up for me lately, and I am very excited about some work that I'm doing with young adults and children on social media. And, you know, I had an experience recently that I opened Facebook and there was all of this stuff. It's ridiculous to even go into what it was about, but I saw all of these comments that people make. These comments, just hateful things that people say. And I was really affected. I was so affected that it almost made me cry. It made me cry to see how people treat other people. And I realized, okay, so what is this triggering me? It's triggering within me the need to, you know, heal people, the need to be the savior, the need to whatever. Because what did I want to do? I wanted to jump in and defend the person, right? I looked at that and I said, why is this showing up for me? And what I realized is I really don't put myself out there too much on social media because I'm going to say, actually, I'm scared of that kind of bullying. I'm actually scared of the judgments of people like that. In my head, I'm going, wait, they're saying this about this incredibly beautiful, talented, smart woman. What are they going to say about me? And then it creates this spiral where all of a sudden, what do? You focus on the lack of you, right? You focus on everything that is wrong. You focus on everything that you don't want to put out there, you don't want people to see, right? And that creates that body of energy that makes you feel eclipsed. It makes you feel like the moon is covering you. But you'll notice that one of the most incredible aspects for those of us, I mean, I wasn't able to like see much of the total eclipse because wasn't so prevalent in Florida, but I was watching it online. You know that moment where it all goes completely black, right? That moment where it goes completely black, and then it looks like it's completely dark for like a minute, and then all of a sudden the light comes back. And when the light comes back, did you notice that it actually feels like it comes back even stronger and more powerful and more potent and more incredible? That's when they say that people get burned with their eyes the most because they get so used to what is there that when they actually see the light, it actually burns their light, creates great damage. So now apply that to you in your life. Let's say that you remove that which is eclipsing you, your power, your magic, your light, your incredible energy is actually that moon is removed and you are in the space to reveal who you truly are. That light that you be to share with the world. Imagine how incredibly blinding that energy, blinding in a beautiful way, in a powerful way, in a nurturing way where everybody goes, wow, did you see that? Were you there for that? Did you experience that? And that's what I want each and every one of us to take away with us for tonight. And also really carrying it out at least for the next 30 days until the next new moon. What have you been so afraid of being judged, being seen, being whatever, that if you did, it might actually change something? And I have really, as I started to look at that, I thought, wow, I wonder how many opportunities, how many people I am not willing to connect with because I'm afraid of a few bullies, or I'm afraid of negative people's comments. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but most of my community, my community that I really, really nurture and nourish is in Asia, right? I get to show up there, I get to do my thing. I don't know how to read Chinese, so I don't know what they say about me. Okay. I have thousands of students in China, thousands. Okay. Thousands of students in China and all over Asia. I have no idea what they're saying about me behind my back. I don't care, and I can't read it. Right. So of course I shine like a diamond. But what is preventing me from doing that over here? What is preventing me from doing that in areas that I actually can read what people are saying about me, or actually take the point of view that I actually care about what people are saying about me? So that is something that I am really committed to myself. That is one of the commitments that I am going to make to myself, is to really channel my own words. Those of you who have worked with me, you know that my mantra, my $1,000,000 mantra is who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares what somebody thinks about you? Who fucking cares? But you know what? I started to look and I go, oh, wow, I actually care. Wow. Here I am out there telling everybody, who fucking cares? And I'm the one who cares. So I realized I have to like really, really, really take my own medicine here. And I recognize and I realized that for me to, let's say, reveal my truth, to get out of that eclipse from myself, is to really embody this, to take it to the next level. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to jump back into this market and have this meeting, this session with you guys, with people that I love, people that I am inspired by, and invite you to do the same. How are you withholding? How are you holding back your incredible gifts and talents that, if activated, would actually change everything? Okay, so that's the eclipse. That's the energy of the eclipse. Now let's talk about the new moon in Aries. So something also really, really dynamic that we have going on right now is that today is also the new moon of Aries. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. It means that today is truly, truly, truly the astrological new year. It is really, really a new beginning in so many different ways. And how cool we had this eclipse today on the new moon of Aries, the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. What we want to really, really get is that Aries is definitely one of those signs that doesn't fucking care. Okay. To know an Aries, to know a true Aries, when an Aries wants something, when an Aries has something that they want to say, they just go for it. Let's be that energy. Let's be that Aries energy and let's go for it without giving a shit what somebody thinks or without worrying about how we're going to be judged. Let's channel the energy of Aries. One of my favorite stories of a true Aries comes actually from the Torah, from the 5 books of Moses. And there's a moment in the splitting of the Red Sea when all the Israelites get to the Red Sea, right? All the Israelites get to the Red Sea. They're all at the Red Sea, and they're being chased by the Egyptians. Moses is there, and Moses is like, oh my God. And he says to God, he says, God, mati which means what? God says to Moses, why are you crying at me? Moses says, God, what the heck? What is going on? And God says, mati which means, why are you crying at me? Meaning, why don't you do something about it? And there's one man, and his name is Nachshon. And Nachshon, an Aries, jumps headfirst into the water. And he dives right into the water, and he goes and he goes and he goes until he is about to drown. In the minute that the water is almost filling his lungs, it is said that that is when the Red Sea actually split. But how many of us are actually sitting on the bank waiting for God to part the Red Sea? How many of us are actually sitting there going, wait, how am I going to cross this thing? I have this band of Egyptians coming after me who are going to take me, kill me, do all this with me, and I have to get across. And what God was saying to Moses was like, why are you crying to me? And then it was the Aries energy that just went for it. I'm telling you all this story because there's going to be a time very, very soon that each one of us, maybe you're going through it now, is going to be faced with our own Red Sea. We are going to get to that point where you know that that which we call the promised land is on the other side. That which we call our dreams, our hopes, our aspirations, our world peace is on the other side. But there will be that Red Sea. What are you going to choose to do with it? Are you going to sit there and wait for everybody else to fix it for you? Are you going to go, oh, I'm so afraid of how people are going to judge me? Or are you going to just dive in? And that's the energy of the Aries. Just dive in and have that complete certainty that no matter what is happening, no matter what is going to happen, it is all in the highest and best and will actualize for you. That's the energy that we also want to channel. Now, in addition to that, we have Mercury in retrograde, which many of you may have been feeling, right? Mercury is the sign of communication. It's the sign of technology. Any way that we communicate is always affected by the planet Mercury. So anything that has to do with communication. You know, maybe some of your apps aren't working on your phone. Maybe somebody called you and said, meet me at 5 o'clock and they meant 5 a.m., not 5 p.m. It's that kind of stuff that Mercury retrograde does to us. And it's not really in retrograde. Mercury just goes so fast that it feels like it feels like it's going backwards 3 times a year. Okay. It's not, it just feels like that. And so we slow down, everything slows down and feels backwards to us. So during this time, and it lasts until I think the 24th of April, everything may feel like it's going backwards, or it may feel like people aren't understanding you. They're not getting you. Here's something we also want to know. Aries is actually the ruler of the planet Mercury this month. Mercury is in the sign of Aries. So we have Mercury in Aries. We have the moon in Aries today. And we also have the dwarf planet Chiron, also in the sign of Aries. This planet is called the wounded healer. Because it's in the sign of Aries and it's conjunct Mercury retrograde, all of us are going to maybe feel like we have no filters when it comes to the things that we're going to say. Okay. This particular time, you may feel brazen about some of the things that you just blurt out. All of this Aries energy is also inviting us to really, really look at our intentions of the choices that we make, right? What's the consciousness behind why you're going to say something? What's the consciousness behind why you want something? What's the consciousness behind it? Can you find the consciousness? Are you willing to ask, will this create more for me in my life? If I say this, will this be a contribution for the other person? If I say this, will the person even be able to hear you? And if that's light for you, then do it. But if it's heavy, it's the time to take a step back and say, yeah, you know what? I might be causing more chaos and more disunity here if I actually move in that direction. And because it is in this interesting conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer, it's very, very rare. Chiron only orbits, I think it's like something like 38 years or something. I don't really know because we don't know a whole lot about the dwarf planets. But Chiron has this energy of wearing those wounds on its sleeve, right? So because it's in the sign of Aries, Aries is the sign that, like, let's say they have a big gash or a big scar, they'll like actually wear it and they'll celebrate it. And they'll be like, yeah, look what I did. What happened to me? I was in this war and I had this thing and this is why, and I've got this to show for it. Okay. You may be feeling that way too with this placement, Aries and Chiron opposite Mercury. You may be wanting to tell people about all your scars. Oh, I got this here and I got this here and I did this and I can't believe it. Who would you be if you were not connected to the past? Now we go full circle as to why the eclipse is so special right now. What relationship do you have to you? What relationship do you have to your present that is defined by the past? Who are you trying to show up as now that you're taking with you all those scars and saying, I am this because I did this and I da 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 da. And what if today, with this eclipse, it was the opportunity to remove all of that energy from the moon, to remove those thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and be like, you know what? Lesson learned, I'm done, time to move on, time to create a new version of me. Then we can tap into the Aries energy that's like, you know what? I'm going to be a rock star. You know what? I'm going to change the world. You know what? I'm going to walk outside in a pair of leather pants without my shirt on, and I'm going to let everyone see how hot and sexy I am. It's being willing to put yourself out there. It's being willing to, again, to just not give a fuck what other people think. And that is a kindness. Many of us look at that and we go, oh, that's not very, that's not very kind, right? And if we go, oh my goodness, that's not very kind, then what we're doing is we're actually blocking off our ability to actually let them decide, right? How often have you shared something with someone that you didn't think was kind, but they heard you and they go, wow, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I really learned something so much about that. What if you didn't judge how other people are going to perceive or judge you? What if you didn't judge any of that or yourself and just allowed yourself to be present with what you were choosing with consciousness? That's one of the great, magical, incredible energies that we have. Okay. This is really, really, really a time to also let go, right? To really let go, to let go of the expectations that we have of relationships that may no longer serve you. You know, they say that Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, right? How often do we do this in relationship? whether it's with a person that we're dating, whether it's could be an even your spouse, could even be your children, could even be any relationship, a friend. How often do we allow things to just be because the pain of changing feels greater than actually just letting it be, right? So we have these people, these situations, these things that collect in our lives, and they just collect in our lives. And all of a sudden, one day we go, wait a minute, why am I friends with this person? Wait, how have I been with this person for 13 years? How have I been married to this asshole for 13 years? How is that? How has this person been in my life for my whole life? Like, and you go, wait a minute. Am I choosing from this version of me now, or am I still choosing from that version of me 13 years ago? Am I still choosing and showing up in this relationship as I was when I was 5 years old? Or am I choosing and showing up in this relationship as the conscious individual that I am now? Become aware of why you're choosing to hold on to those relationships, why you're choosing to hold on to making them work, making them look like you want them to look like, instead of just actually allowing them to evolve and grow and maybe transform into something that is even greater for them and greater for you. So this eclipse is also very much about letting go. 2 weeks ago, we had the full moon eclipse in the sign of Libra, all about relationships. So for the last 2 weeks, you may have been called to look at your relationships, and you may have been tested, and you may have gotten to a place right now where you go, you know what? I want to choose greater for me. And that's okay, because again, we go back to the individuality of the energy of the sign of Aries and empowering ourselves to know what we know so that we can make more informed choices, more informed energy, that the future and the world ahead for us is not held down or blocked by all of these things that are getting in our way. Okay. And that includes all of those relationships, right? Now, what is also really unique is that, so we have this Mercury retrograde, which usually when you're having a communication about your relationships, it's really important, right? But this Mercury in retrograde in the sign of Aries may contribute to you not being so kind in your release of those relationships. You may find the urge to say something that you may regret later. Okay. This Mercury in Aries often is sharp tongued. It is usually created to push people away. So oftentimes it leads to things that can feel a little self-sabotaging. And we want to be mindful of that right now. Okay. Be mindful of how you change and transform these relationships right now. Okay. Your fears will also be brought up, because why? One of the reasons that we attract people into our lives is because usually our vibration matches theirs. So think about it. Do you have friends that you brought into your life at a time that you were going through a deep, deep, deep fear or deep sadness? You've just carried them along with you, but you're no longer sad, or you're no longer angry, or you're no longer scared, but you still have them and they still have the same fear or the same sadness. That's also an awareness that you want to become aware of, right? Are you functioning? Are you functioning from that point of view? Or are you willing to actually say, I am no longer in pain, and therefore this relationship is no longer serving me? I love you. I thank you. Please forgive me. Ho'oponoho, if you know that one, how to move forward and move past it. Okay. What other notes did I have here that I wanted to share with you guys? Yeah, a lot. The energy of Chiron, the wounded healer, is bringing up a lot of past trauma. Okay, so also look at your relationships and where you are trying to replicate the traumas and dramas that you've been through in your life. Okay, oftentimes those traumas and dramas, again, because you want to wear them on a badge, like you learned your lesson from them, so you hold on to them. So be very mindful of that, because fear is only something, and pain is only something that comes up for us to learn a lesson, guys. Fear is not there to keep us locked in. Fear is there only to bring up the opportunity. What else can we choose here? What else can we learn? Right? So this is a really, really powerful time. Remember, Mars is controlled by the planet Aries is controlled by the planet Mars. Okay? Aries is controlled by the planet Mars, and Mars is often associated with war. But it can also be associated with our desire and how we go after and go about getting what we want. Now is a great time for you to really, really, really think about places in your life that you're willing to put yourself out there, again, in ways that you didn't know that you could put yourself out there to actually receive what it is you're asking for. Oftentimes, what you're asking for and what you're willing to receive are incongruent. What you're asking for, you're asking for an extra big gulp, but you're coming up with a one of those little free soda things that's like a scrawny little plastic cup, right? You want to fill up that. You want to fill up that cup. You want that cup to run over, but you only have this little cup. So now all this Mars energy is going to beg you to just go out and what you're asking for, to be willing to receive it in a different way. Okay. So let's hold on to that. Before we begin the activation of the meditation, I just want to also talk about one other interesting influence, which is related to the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is all about expansion. And Jupiter is also one of those energies that moves in a generational pattern, in a generational way. And so, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, there's a real opportunity for us to carry this energy, that energy that we talked about today, right? Of people coming together, of people being in unity. That energy and expanding that energy into the entire world, that is a huge possibility right now. Some of the other astrologers and my astrology teacher has kind of alluded to the fact that this unique planet is going to create an immense change in the world. These astrological lineups. You know, many of us have been feeling a lot of despair about leadership in our world, right? About presidents that are elected, or dictators, or all of this and all that. And actually, one of my teachers has said that the way that these planets are forming in the alignment of them, that we're going to start to see, so to speak, the truth, and people are going to actually be willing to hear the truth. They haven't been willing because they've been kind of aligned with what they want to believe, but now we're going to start to see that work in a different way. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about how that shows up for all of us. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's begin the meditation. Let's begin the meditation. And just so you know, on an eclipse, it's not necessary I know we always talk about manifesting. We always talk about manifesting when we talk about new moons. Because it's an eclipse, what I want to focus on tonight is letting go. Okay, so the meditation that we do tonight will not be a manifestation meditation. You could look at it like it's a manifestation meditation about the things we're going to let go of and release. Fine. But it's not one of those, I want this, I require this, blah, blah, blah. It's a different kind of activation tonight, really to cut the cords with those things that are no longer working for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. You guys can go ahead and get comfortable, and you can uncross your arms and legs and just close your eyes and find yourself in your heart. And as you do so, I want us all to just become present. Become present with what's here. Become present with the energy today. Become present with the eclipse. Just become present. And as we begin, let's just offer a prayer of gratitude. Creator of all that is, source, light, universe, we thank you. We thank you for our lives. We thank you for this time, this space, and this connection. Thank you, Creator. So now let's imagine this beautiful ball of light in the center of your heart. And as you focus on this beautiful ball of light, I want you to imagine taking 3 deep breaths. And each time you breathe into this ball of light and watch it expand. Okay? In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And now let's shift our awareness to the center of the earth. And as we shift our awareness to the center of the earth, let's imagine this beautiful energy swirling around in the center of the earth. From here, let's imagine this energy scooping up fresh earth energy, coming up through the soles of our feet, through our ankles, our calves, our knees and our thighs, and traveling up through our entire body, and popping up outside the top of our head, forming a beautiful ball of light. Now I want you to imagine that ball of light expanding right now into the room that you're in. Imagine yourself in that ball of light. And now imagine that ball of light expanding past the room that you're in, into the apartment or the house that you're in. Imagine that ball of light expanding into the earth that you are on, to the neighborhood, the city, the town, the state. Imagine that ball of light expanding even more into that country and that continent and the bodies of water that surround your continent. Imagine your ball of light expanding beyond there to different continents and different bodies of water. Imagine your ball of light expanding so that your entire ball of light is one with the entire globe. Now imagine your ball of light expanding out into outer space, expanding through outer space, out into different layers of light, expanding out through those layers into a golden-like light, through the golden-like light into a jelly-like substance light, expand through the jelly-like substance light into a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. Expand through the law of compassion till you enter into the 7th plane of all that is, the plane of creation, of oneness, and of complete totality. And now imagine your ball of light dissolving, emerging and becoming one with this amazing energy. So now I would like for you to envision and imagine something in front of you that you are willing and ready and able to let go of in your life. It can be a person. It can be an aspect of you. It can be a situation, a pain, a shock, a trauma that you still identify with. And I want you to imagine that energy in front of you. And as you perceive that energy, I want you to make it real. If it's a person, you already have a face. If it's not a person, give it a face, give it a symbol, give it a name, and see that in front of you as something that exists outside of you. And now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine this beautiful pink bubble that is like a balloon. And I want you to put that energy, that person, or that symbol, or that object, or that situation into this bubble. By the way, this bubble can also contain, it can be your fears, it can be your discomfort, your dis-ease. I want you to see that in the bubble. And now I want you to look down at your hands. And I want you to see your hand connected to a string that is connected to that bubble. And as you see your string tied to that bubble, I want you to imagine that balloon bubble expanding, becoming bigger, like a helium balloon. And now watch that balloon start to take off. And become aware of your hand holding on to the string that is holding on to that balloon, that is holding all of that energy, those people, that place, that situation that you're holding on to. And I want you to let go. Let go of this string. Let it pass through your hand. And let this beautiful balloon and this beautiful ball of light take off. And watch this ball of light ascend even higher and higher and higher. Watch this ball of light take off, growing even more, even bigger and bigger and bigger. And watch that balloon as it goes so far out, you can barely see it. Watch it go even further and further and further until it's but a speck of dust. Now watch as it completely disappears. Now become present with what it feels like for you. Become present with you for what it feels like here in this space. To not be attached to that person, to that thing, to that situation. Now become present with yourself. And as you become present with yourself, acknowledge that you no longer require that energy in your life. Allow yourself to be filled up with your energy, your magic, and your light. Now, let's take our palms, rub our palms together. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And now take your palms and place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Allow that energy to come into your body and into your being. and place your hands on your heart and congratulate yourself and thank yourself for being here, for choosing, for letting go, for being present. Thank you guys for being here to support each other, to support me, to support the world. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And it's wonderful to be together. And what can we be together for each other to inspire and awaken great change in the world? I'm so thankful for you all again. Thank you for being here. I love you all, and I will see you very, very soon. You are all, as I gently remind you, you're all always welcome to the daily download every day, 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, both online and here on Zoom. If you need the recording or the link, just let me know and I'll send you the link to join the Zoom. Otherwise, it's on Instagram. And yeah, how does it get even better? Okay. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.